Hello, this is the beginning of my vlog for Tome Topple Round 13. So I'm actually starting my tome on time. The last few rounds I have not started my book on time. I've been like a few days behind because I was finishing up another book and I just finished my current read, which was short, and now I'm gonna start my tomes. So the first one I'm starting is Blood Upon the Sand by Bradley Baleo because I'm meaning to read this for a while. It's the last book left on my TBR from before my birthday, and it was also the last book on my 5-star TBR predictions. So a lot of reasons to wrap this up. So I'm gonna read this first. I'm also gonna be listening to Black Sun on audiobook on walks when I'm in the car driving, which won't be a ton, but when I have those opportunities, I'll listen to it. And then I was planning on reading the next Greatcoats book, which I don't know if I'm actually gonna do because I realized that I need to read The Invisible Life of Addie, LaRue, and that's over 500 pages. I have to read that for book club, so I might do that because I don't think I'll have time to read 3 physical books. I really don't think that'll happen. And as much as I'd love to continue on with Greatcoats, I don't know. Again, part of me still wants to reread the first book of that. I don't know if that's actually something that I will end up doing, but again, we'll see, because I just don't think by the end of Tome Topple I will have time to read Addie, LaRue at the pace that I want to. So we will see how I do, but this is the start of this journey. Hey y'all, this lighting is not great, but whatever, it's 12:30 at night, so don't care. But it is Sunday night, and I have not done any reading of my physical books yet. So I worked all day Saturday, and I did manage that day to get some of Black Sun read by Rebecca Roanhorse. That was yesterday, with driving around and errands and stuff, listening to it in the car on I think I got up to 2 speed, I want to say, and was still able to completely hear everything. I wasn't skimming over it or anything. So I think I listened to about 3 hours approximately of that. So hopefully I can work my way through that. And then tonight, right now, I'm going to start Blood Upon the Sand by Bradley Baleo, the second book in the 12 Kings and Shirakai book series. Shattered Sands is the actual, every time I say 12 Kings and Shirakai, and it's really Shattered Sands. Anyway, I'm gonna start reading that because I wanted to get my reading done today, but I ended up sleeping in and then playing Among Us for 4 hours with my friends for the very first time. So that took up a lot of time. And I was going to film tonight, but that's not gonna happen. So I'll be filming tomorrow and hoping to get some reading done tonight. I also need to go find a recap of the first book so I remember and I'm not completely lost with what's happening. So yeah, those are my plans. It's Monday night, and I want to let y'all know that I'm only really making this update because I have makeup on, and I won't have makeup on probably for the rest of the week, if not the rest of this vlog. So I felt like reminding you that I don't in fact look like a thumb all the time. So I'm about 80 pages into Blood Upon the Sand, and I plan on reading 20 more at least. I think I'm gonna take a bath because I've been wanting to, and it's a new moon, and I just kind of feel like it. And I'm also trying to get my sleep routine. It's not bad right now, my sleep routine is fine, but I'm thinking I want to wake up a little bit earlier before work to get some stuff done. It would make my life slightly easier if I woke up an hour earlier than I have been. So I'm gonna try to work my schedule to do that. So I think I'm gonna take a bath, read a little bit more, possibly either of that or just my Kindle book, which is not a tome, or maybe an audiobook. I could do Black Sun. I don't know, I'll do something like that, relax, maybe do some bedtime yoga, and go to bed. But I just finished up some reading sprints. That's how I got up to 80 pages, and I'm liking it so far. I didn't really find a summary to read before I started this book of the first book, but I found a very, very small summary, and I remembered kind of enough. It just picks right back up where that left off, so I'm happy to be back in this world. Hi, it's Thursday night. I don't think I've updated in a few days because I've just been working, and I've been working long days, so I haven't had a ton of time to read at night. But I'm about halfway through Black Sun and really enjoying that. Really, really into that. Just the lore and the political maneuverings and stuff is super cool. But also Rebecca Roanhorse has a way of writing that just keeps the flow moving much quicker than other political machinations books. So enjoying that. And then I'm about 30% of the way only into Blood Upon the Sand by Bradley Baleo. It's right here, so I can actually show you. But slow going, but I'm reading it a lot every night, at least 50 pages, and yet it's just taking forever because obviously I've been reading it for well, over 4 days, 5 days probably, and I'm 200 pages in, so I guess that sort of makes sense, because a couple days I didn't read a ton, but I'm also really liking this. Like, I don't know, probably, well, I'm not far enough into it to know, but I think I'll end up liking it just as much as the first book. I also really love this world, and like both books that I'm reading right now are fantasy that are based on like mythologies and settings that are not Western and white, so that's cool. And it's just like I'm just surrounded by greatness basically, so that's really fun. But tomorrow I do have off work, so I'm hoping that I can get a lot of reading done. I haven't been doing that lately, but I don't have anything to do tomorrow. I've been getting back on like a sleep schedule as far as like I'm waking up even on my days off like the same time that I wake up for work, so that's nice. And I think tomorrow I don't really have any errands I have to run or anything, so I think that'll be good. So I'm hoping to just like get a ton of reading done. Like, it'd be great if I could read like 200 pages, because lately I've been reading like 50 or 60 a night. If I could get like 200 banged out on Friday, that would be really awesome. So I'm thinking I'm gonna shoot for that, because all I really have to do is read. I might film tomorrow, maybe, I don't know, because I work on Saturday and I kind of hate filming like days before I work, because I film at night and it's just like it's just a pain in the ass. So I'm thinking that's like the only things I really have to do, and then maybe I'll do some studying, because I'm going through a like therapy course thing for a type of therapy, so I want to do some of that too. But yeah, basically just like reading type stuff. I could also look at me being like, I have nothing to do, I should just read. But I'm also like, I did buy God of War last week and I haven't started it yet. But I'm like, no. But I do tend to get most of my reading done at night. So I can see myself, if I want to, like playing God of War during the day and reading at night. But we will see. I might read a little bit more of this before bed. I'm not sure. I would like to read maybe like one more chapter. Yeah, this is like a rambly update about nothing. But I'm hoping to get this finished. I think I'll for sure get this finished during Tome Topple, and I'll probably get Black Sun also finished during Tome Topple. Hi, it's Friday night. I probably look a mess because I've been doing nothing all day, but I don't care. I did end up reading about 200 pages, well I will by the time the night's done, because I'm gonna read a little bit more, so yeah, I'm this much through. I ended up like sleeping in a little bit, just kind of being overall lazy and reading, and then my mom and I went on a walk. I didn't really do much of anything. I didn't film, obviously. I edited some videos, and I didn't even do yoga or like anything. I don't even, where did the day go? I don't know. I mean, I did get a lot of reading done, but like, it could have been more. Anyway, but I am, yeah, like 375 pages. I want to get up to 400 tonight, and this is a 660 page book. I'm getting a little nervous that I am not going to be able to finish this and then Addie LaRue by the end of the readathon, which I need to do because our live show for Addie LaRue is next week. And if that's the case, I'll just tell book club like we gotta push it back a week, because I can't force myself to read a book that fast potentially, because at this point tomorrow I'm gonna be playing Among Us with my friends from book club, and so yeah, all night tomorrow I'm like, I work and then I'm gonna be playing that, so I'm not gonna have any time to read really. Like maybe I'll get 50 pages read. Sunday I could try to read another 200 and then I'd probably be done at that point. So maybe, but then I just only have Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. 2 of those days I don't work, so maybe I could finish. Maybe I could finish Addie LaRue. I don't know. But anyway, for this book, this is just getting like so good. I mean, it's been good the whole time, but there are some like reveals that have just happened with like how some characters are actually more intertwined, and it's so good, because there's all these characters that were sort of like very vaguely introduced in the first book, and I didn't think were going to be important at all, and then they've popped back up and I've been like like, so that's kind of fun. And just how characters that I didn't think were like connected at all actually are. And there's a lot more perspectives in this book. Like, not only is there Cheta, who's like the main character, but we follow like some of the kings, some of the people in the like rebel group, some people that are like from another country that are affecting things. So it's a whole thing. It is very good. So this series does not get enough love, so I am basically going to make it my mission to make sure people read this series, because the second book is so good. And usually like second books in like large fantasy series tend to be like a bit of a lag because you're just setting up more stuff still. No, no, no. I feel like this whole series is going to be a wild ride, and I'm very excited. So yeah, loving this. Haven't read any Black Sun today, but I'm hoping I can still get through that. So maybe I'll be able to read all 3 books. We'll see. Hi, it's Monday night, and I just finished Blood Upon the Sand by Bradley Vallejo. 5 out of 5 stars. This series is so good. I don't expect any of the twists and turns, the amount of like villains that there are, and how interesting everyone is, and how all the paths like intersect. Man, so good. Let me know if you want me to do a full review and discussion on this, because it's tough with later books in series that aren't wildly popular. I don't tend to get a lot of engagement, which doesn't like hurt me, but I mean, I'd rather like make these and people talk to me on them, and I'm not sure that a discussion would get very many people talking with me, but I still kind of want to do it. I don't know. So let me know with series like this if you want reviews and discussions, or just a review is fine, whatever. So now I'm going to, well, not right this second, but I'm going to play God of War some more, and then whenever I'm taking a break, I will be reading Addie LaRue. And I'm hoping to finish that by Friday for the end of Tome Topple. But also because we have our live show on Saturday, like right after I get off work, for the book club. So really need to get to that. And I'm also hoping to finish Black Sun this week. I have like 2.5 hours of audiobook left, but I haven't really been listening to it on walks because my mom has walked with me. So maybe the next couple of days, I'll be like, hey, don't come with, because then I listen to my audiobook. So yeah, hopefully I can get that done as well. Hello, so it is Sunday night, and Saturday night I got a little bit of reading done, but I mostly spent 7 hours playing Among Us with the House Help Book Club people. So that was great. Didn't feel like 7 hours, but that's sure what I did. And then today I've actually read a lot, and I have about 100 pages, maybe a little bit less left of Blood Upon the Sand. But I've also started playing God of War, and that has been my like back and forth all day thing. I started playing the new God of War game. These are games that I grew up on, and then I haven't played the newest one, even though it's like, what, 3 years old or something at this point. So I'm finally playing that. Super great. Love it so far. I mean, like, I don't love that Kratos' entire character is just based upon like fridging of women, but that's what they've always gone on since like the PS2 games, so I guess they're just continuing that trend, and maybe they'll turn that around a bit, I don't know, but that's just what it is. But so far I'm liking some of the callbacks to the previous games while still updating it, the like Norse mythology, and his like the kid he's with, his son, is actually like not annoying so far, so that's really great. But I've been doing that, basically being like, hey, set a timer, and then reading for 15 minutes, and then playing for half an hour, and then reading for 15 minutes, because before I even did this I'd read for like an hour. So I'm gonna try to probably read a little bit more of this before bed, and then finish maybe like 60 or so pages tomorrow, and then I will start Addie LaRue tomorrow. So far so good. I haven't really been getting footage of myself doing stuff, but the only thing I was doing was playing Among Us on my phone, which couldn't have even shown you guys, but maybe I'll show you me playing some God of War.
Never been this close to the mountain before.
Hi, it is Wednesday. It's actually super gloomy out. Are you rubbing yourself on the blanket? Stop it. Stop, that's my blanket. We just went outside. It is very gloomy, as you can probably tell. And I have a couple of hours, so I don't look like anything presentable. I have a couple hours before I have to start work for the day, and this is my last day before the holiday. And right now I'm just like getting in bed because it's so gloomy and rainy, and this dog. I cannot. She got a little bit wet outside in the rain, and she like can't handle her life. But maybe this way is better. Okay. Well, excuse you. So, I started, now she's coughing. I started, Addie LaRue yesterday? Day before yesterday. And I'm like 110 pages into it. I'm trying to read that like pretty consistently. Like I'm not even reading a romance book at night like I usually do. So like at night after work, I end up just like doing that and playing God of War, and like that's it. And so far I'm like, I could end up really liking it, or I could end up just being like meh about it. I think the writing is really good, but I do find it like pretty slow, and I feel like it's just going to be almost like a character study in this girl, this like woman's life. Although like even there's some things about like the writing, like does she have to have Victoria Schwab? Does she have to have all of her female characters be thieves and like the best thieves in the world? Like I love thieves, but like deviate a bit. Like I get a thief makes sense. Like Addie has to do that because of her life or whatever, but like okay. And then she also like consistently has female characters that like smoke cigarettes, which again I'm like, it's just something that I notice, like a pattern with her. And I'm like, okay, like I don't really have an opinion necessarily either way on the like morals of that. Like I'm not talking about that. I'm just like, okay, this falls into like a stereotype of like a devil may care type woman, you know. So I still feel like the way that she writes female characters I'm kind of just like meh about. But I don't hate this so far. So far I'm like, I do really like the atmosphere, and the writing I think is like really good. It almost feels like someone else is writing it. Like, not that her writing has ever been like super bad or anything, but like it just feels way more atmospheric than a lot of her stuff has in the past, in my opinion. So yeah, so we'll see. I'm hoping to finish it by Friday, by the end of Tome Topple. So we'll see how that goes. Hopefully I can do it. Hello, it's Thanksgiving Day, so Thursday, and I just got back from a walk, so that's why my hair is probably like kind of a mess. And I'm not doing anything today. It's just dinner with my immediate family today, so I was like, I'm not going to do anything but wear bum clothes and not put makeup on and like read all day. So I'm 76% of the way into Black Sun by Rebecca Roanhorse. Really liking this. Like, there's so much magic that feels so unique, and the culture and like the civilization just feels so unique, again because it's inspired by Native American like systems and stuff. I don't know what all is Native American inspired and what's other stuff. I don't have enough knowledge of that, but you can definitely tell it's not your typical like Western inspired fantasy. There's like mermaids, there's like crow gods, there's like star mapping systems and witches and all this stuff, which is really cool. And then I am like what, 200 pages into Addie LaRue, liking it. I still think it's gonna end up being like a 4-star. Like, I'm definitely not hating it, but there's still some things that I'm just like, Victoria Schwab, like things that just she does in like all of her books, and I'm like, do you really need to? Like, I already mentioned the like, okay, it has to be a master thief. And then there's been like multiple lines about like Addie dressing like a man and wanting to dress like a man and wanting to put on trousers. And I was like, is this just Lila Bard again? Like, she just writes these characters that are like her, because I know that Victoria Schwab has talked about like liking to dress androgynous and having like really cool coats and pants and whatever. And it just feels so self-insert if you've read multiple of her books. I don't hate those characters or those kinds of characters if it was just like a one-off thing, with the fact that she puts them in every single book. I'm like, girl, please get some variety in here. But I do enjoy it as like a character study, seeing how a character learns to survive. There's another character that definitely has something going on with him that we don't know yet. So I'm hoping to read like at least 100 or 150 pages today. I could have read more yesterday, but I was playing God of War. Like, I typically set a timer for half an hour of playing video games and then 15 minutes reading, half an hour, 15 minutes, and just like keep doing that. And typically I'll read like 15 minutes or half an hour before I even start gaming, so that I get a lot of reading in still. But then at the end of the night, I just play the game for like an hour and 15 minutes, maybe like an hour and a half, and like didn't even stop because I love it. That's the story that I'm really enjoying right now. So I mean, I'm liking everything that I'm engaging with right now. God of War, Addie I'm enjoying, and Black Sun. So yeah, hopefully I can finish Addie and Black Sun by the end of the day tomorrow. Hello, it's Friday, last day of the readathon, and I look kind of like a bum, but it's okay because it's a day off work. I'm actually gonna do my hair tonight, so I had to take the dog for a walk because it's freezing out, and I didn't want to wash my hair before I did that, because then I would have wet hair and it would freeze in my head, and that's not a fun look. So on my walk, I just finished Black Sun by Rebecca Roanhorse. I loved it. I was actually like thinking for most of the time, I was like, oh, this is probably gonna be like a 4, 4.5, and then at the end I was like, why? like, I don't have any complaints about it. Like, maybe at the very, very beginning, slow at the very beginning, I don't even think it was. I mean, it's been like a couple, like I started at the very beginning of the readathon. But no, I mean, I liked all of it. I liked what it was doing. I liked the world. I couldn't predict any like the twists and turns and stuff. Like, I'd never really knew where it was going as far as like the plot twists and stuff. So yeah, I'm a little distraught that I have to wait who knows how long for the sequel. Because the sequel isn't even announced yet, so that's a little like, because there's a couple of cliffhangers at the very end that's like nothing, I don't know, cliffhangers don't super bother me typically, like I'm able to survive, you know, like I forget about them in like a day and then it's okay, but definitely some things that I'm like, like if it was a series that was completed or the next book was out, I would have read the next book I get it on audio, and I highly recommend it on audio. I'm gonna look into some other people's reviews now of it and see what people are thinking, because I know that this hasn't gotten like, I don't know, I think the native community has liked it from my understanding, but it has gotten some like mixed reviews, I think. I know Rebecca Roanhorse's style seems to be hit or miss for some people, but I really like her urban fantasy series as well. So she's become like a not an auto buy necessarily, but I will check things out by her if they appeal to me. I really like her style, and yeah, I like what she's doing. So really enjoyed that. 5 out of 5 stars. Will I do a review? I'm not sure if I'll end up doing a full review, because I feel like I've read a number of books that I want to do reviews for lately. And then I have a little less than 100 pages of Addie LaRue, so I'm going to start doing that now, reading that now. I will definitely finish this tonight, which is awesome, because the live show is tomorrow for the House Salt Book Club, so love that. So I will have finished 3 books for the readathon, which is like the best I've ever done. 2 were slightly shorter, like Addie LaRue in this version that I have is like 460 pages or something, but the rule for the readathon is that if there's editions that are over 500 pages, it can still count, just to not like confuse people a ton. I know some people are like, whatever, it's my readathon, I make the rules. So this was allowed, and also like the pages of this edition are like, I don't know, like it's like full pages of text, so I feel like if the margins were different, it would have been a longer book. And then Black Sun is also like 450, but we made some allowances for Indigenous books for people to read for this month, because I wanted people to be able to read Indigenous books and support them. So yeah, so I will have read 3 books, and I also think it kind of evens out a bit. I'm making a bunch of excuses, but my other book, Blood Upon the Sand, was like 660 pages or something, so I feel like some of the pages from there can pad up some of these over here, and it ends up like I read 3 500-page books. So I will check back in when I finish Addie LaRue tonight. I plan to probably read a little bit, do some yoga, because I want to do yoga on my days off. I'm trying to make that a routine now, since there's like no possibility of going to the gym at all. And then I'll probably do my nightly routine of playing God of War and doing Addie LaRue. Although I played God of War a lot yesterday, and I'm almost thinking about taking a break. I love it though, so maybe I won't. But like, I'm thinking about taking a break and doing some other stuff. We'll see. I might do a little bit of Black Friday shopping. I did buy some stuff for myself last night after midnight, because a lot of things that I'm like buying for other people, they're not on sale for Black Friday. I'm like, damn it. So I ended up going on Etsy last night and getting some things from like small businesses, which is kind of what I wanted to do for Black Friday anyway. Anyway, that was a long and rambly update. I feel like this reading vlog will be kind of boring, probably like the last one, because it's like I'm not doing anything. It's just I sleep, I work, I take the dog for a walk, and I read, and I play video games. Like, that's my whole life right now. So yeah, but hope you guys are enjoying this. I'll probably check in for one final update. Here's my final update. I finished Addie LaRue with 40 minutes to go before the end of the readathon in my time zone. I also managed to wash my hair, which is great. I loved this. I found myself resisting throughout, like loving it, and I do. It wasn't as much of a pull on your heartstrings book as maybe other books that I've rated 5 stars. I ended up rating this 5 stars, because I didn't quite like love and like get that bone ache that I talk about when I like love characters and like their dynamics. That didn't quite happen, but like the feeling of the story was so compelling to me. I mean, it was definitely like slow at parts and much more of like a character study, but I think it was done really well. And I will take back some of the shit talking that I did about her including some of the same like themes and characters as far as like the thieving and whatever, because she toned it way down in this book ultimately. I definitely picked it up because I've read other stuff by her, and I do still wish that she'd like tread away a little bit, but I do know that she's been like, this has been her soul book, like she's been writing it for a very long time. I don't follow her on Twitter, but I see stuff about this. I don't know why. So I'm sure those elements were things that she's always been thinking about with this book and then put them in other books and made them more extreme. This book felt softer than her other books, and I really appreciate that. It was much more atmospheric, like I said, much more of like a character study and characters that I liked, and felt very real and just like sort of tug on your heartstrings. I really liked the exploration of relationships, even some of the side characters that are in there and like their dynamics with each other. You only get small moments with them, but it's still very compelling, and just it feels like, again, you're watching someone's actual life. And yeah, just a very interesting premise, obviously, of a girl that like sells her soul but then is forgotten. And yeah, even some of the dynamics that are very like, she combined in here the atmospheric nature of it with these compelling characters, but then she also has like multiple different kinds of dynamics. She has this like more toxic relationship dynamic happening in one part of the story, has these other like sweet moments throughout with characters that Addie meets, but they don't remember her, obviously. And then this other dynamic also that is shown in the book that is completely opposite of the toxic dynamic. And it's really good. I mean, I can't say much. I don't want to do spoilers in here. But I do plan on doing a spoiler-free and a discussion soon. Hopefully I can film that tomorrow when this is like all fresh. But I'm really shocked that I loved this so much, and that I'm letting myself love it. Which also means that all the books I read for this round of Tome Topple were 5 stars. All 3 books were 5-star books. I did not think that was going to happen. I knew Blood Upon the Sand was probably going to be pretty high, like a 4. I had no idea about Black Sun because I hadn't really heard anything about it. And this I fully expected to let me down because Victoria Schwab has let me down so many times. I think I really liked The Archived, and I really liked Vicious, the first book. But, and I liked like 4-starred The Savage Song, but everything else by her I haven't really liked. It's just been like a up and down roller coaster with her. So I really thought that this was going to be like a 3 or something, that it would end up disappointing me, and it didn't. That is the end of my Tome Topple. Tome Topple round 13 was, I would say, my most successful Tome Topple I've ever had, potentially. 3 books finished, all 5 stars, and all read within the readathon because I didn't start late. Who would have thought? So yeah, anyway, I hope your guys' readathon was good. If you joined us this round, comment down below, let me know what you read. And yeah, thank you all for watching, and I'll see all of you guys soon. Bye.